G'day folks, if you've got an American truck and you are looking to relocate the camera that is integrated into your mirror, so it's the one that's traditionally on the back of your cab of the vehicle, and if you've got a canopy that's on the back, whether it's one of the tub toppers or a chassis mounted tray and canopy, and you want a housing like this with one of our cables, make sure you go to the Outback Kitters website. Just after this, we've got the install video on how to do this on a Chev 2500.
Righto guys, if you've got a Chev 2500 HD 2020 model and up, including the 24s, and you have a canopy on the back, whether it's a tub mount or a full replacement canopy, you'll find that your rear vision camera does nothing. It looks straight into the back. Here at Outback Kitters, we have a solution for that. So we'll be relocating the factory camera in the headboard, and whether you've got a canopy mount, a tub mount canopy or a full canopy, we'll be putting the camera at the top there at the back. So there's a bit of an instruction video on how to do it. So today we'll be using the 7-meter universal camera cable from Outback Kitters. This will extend the factory camera cable all the way to the back that we need. Also today we'll be using Flux 3D camera housing for the factory camera. So this is all we'll need, some simple hand tools to get this in. Right, so we're going to start in the car by removing the headrests. Just simply press the little tabs on the side of the headrest there to get that out. Now that the headrests are out, we need to open up, get to this panel here, and in order to get to that, we're going to start by pulling off this rubber trim on the side, which will then give us access to pulling off that inner guard there. Now that guard is free, you want to be pulling off using a 7mm. Pull that little bungee tab off and repeat on the other side. Next, you want to be removing these little hooks here. If you've got some fingernails, you can get in underneath there and pop that, or a Stanley knife, and then you just need to remove that 8mm bolt. Do that to the other side. Okay, so now that those hooks are done, you want to make sure that your hands are nice and clean, or if you've got a set of latex gloves that you can use, just because what we're going to be doing is pulling down this back end of the hood liner here. So what we need to do is, starting in this corner, is to get in behind, making sure that you don't crease the lining, and you just want to gently pull down just to pop those tabs. And then you only want to do just this back half here, just enough to get to the next step. Now that the hood liner has been unclipped at the back there, in here you can see there is
six bolts, nuts all the way through. M10, so you just need to undo those on both sides.
So in total there you're going to have 8 nuts and 4 bolts removed from the headliner to get that wing out. So let's go ahead and remove the wing. Now on the passenger side, which is the Australian passenger side, you want to go ahead and disconnect one plug there for one camera, another plug for the tail light, and then tucked up in there is another plug. You then want to remove those cables just so that they're free and can be taken out through that grommet once we remove that wing at the back. Now we're here at the back of the car. Now it's time to remove this wing. Be much easier without the canopy on, but it is still possible without. With all the bolts and nuts undone from the inside, we just have a few clips here on the outside that we need to disconnect, and this will all pull out with the cabling that we just previously removed earlier. With the wing successfully off and on the workbench, we can now go ahead and remove the camera. The camera we'll be removing is the one that faces backwards. This fisheye one is the one that looks into the tub. That remains in place. We'll be removing this one here. So from the back side here, as you can see, there's a couple of little Torx bits, screws holding that part in. And this cable here is disconnected from this plug here. So we'll just go ahead and remove that now. With that camera now successfully pulled out, that plug just stays in place there. Nothing to worry about there. Go ahead and put this those screws back in with that retainer there. And what we're going to have here is a hole in the back. There's nothing to worry about that hole. This area is, the back of this wing here is fully sealed from the car through the grommet. So just like that, you're gonna have your old camera blocked up, and we're ready to put this wing back onto the car and move on to the next step. Now that that wing is back on, you can go ahead and plug these cables in. However, you don't want to plug in this blue one. This is that blue one that we disconnected from the back. the camera from the wing. This can just be taped up out of the road. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug our new extension cable into this blue plug here that's taped to the back of the hood liner. And then we're going to extend the cable down. Now you want to go ahead and on the passenger side here, just want to go ahead and just pop this plastic capping off, whatever you want to call it, for around the seat belt. What that's going to do is that's going to expose area for us to run the extension cable down. And what you want to do is down the back down here, there's going to be a little rubber grommet that runs to the back of the cab. I don't know if you can see that there. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull that out. And that's just like a little breather, pressure relief sort of hose that allows us to run a cable through that hole. And what we're going to do is just modify this grommet so that we can run the cable through, and we'll seal it up a bit later on. So if you go ahead and pull that down, we'll then get the cable, run it down, poke it through that hole. So now that you have successfully run that cable down the back, out through that grommet hole there, and have your cable hanging out the back here, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and cut a little slice into this factory grommet. And what that'll allow you to do is to put that back in and have your cable run through the side of it. Now once that's all in, you just want to go ahead and put some sealant around that to seal that back up without blocking this drain hole here. So go ahead and do that, and we'll go to the next step. So you can go ahead and put all the trims back in, pop the hood liner back in place, make sure your plugs are plugged in, and get the other side done as well, and then we'll head to the back of the car. Righto guys, so in the canopy here we have our cable running through that little gland there, or plastic grommet. So that's now inside the canopy here, and we're going to go ahead and run it through the top of this RSI. This customer's got the RSI, and down through the back there. So go ahead and tie that in. Now to reiterate before about that other gland, we didn't end up using that one, so you can go ahead and plug that if you wish. However, we've just used this one through here for now. You can go either way. Now with our factory camera here and our camera housing, what we need to go do is establish which way this camera was orientated, if it was upside down or the other way. It depends how you're mounting it. Best thing you want to do is plug it into your end of the cable, turn the car on, and check that you have the right orientation. Now in this instance we have a green sticker there that indicates our upright position. So what we're going to go do is put it into this camera housing and get it secured. Now with our factory camera here and our camera housing, what we need to go do is establish which way this camera was orientated, if it was upside down or the other way, it depends how you're mounting it. Best thing you want to do is plug it into your end of the cable, turn the car on and check that you have the right orientation. Now in this instance we have a green sticker there that indicates our upright position. So what we're going to go do is put it into this camera housing and get it secured. As you can see, our camera is all hooked up there. You can still change your height, go down, go up, change your brightness, everything like that. So the camera works as normal, and you can now see out the back. So that concludes the installation of the Chev 25 HD 20 to 24 model camera extension. We'll put a link below to where to get the camera cable from and the camera housing.